Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to continue the modeling of the world's fastest drone. At this point, we're going to start with the camera details. I'm gonna insert dirt in there, like scale it down a little bit, and try to make it match that cavity there for the top part of the camera. So what we want to do now is try to align it with this cavity. In order to make this work properly, we could select this part and kind of um, toggle on the proportional editing tool and then scale it. Roll the little mouse to control the fall off and kind of scale it on the x-axis like that, something like that. Roll the little mouse to control the fall off until we are able to achieve the result we want. So we might just go in here and manually just align it up with you know um, that profile. You can just manually do it, or we can still use the proportional tool. It's a handy way to get things done, right? So wanna move this one as well, a little bit like that, and then this one. Then we wanna come to this side and move it like this also. You could use your mirror modifier for this. You don't have to do it exactly the same way, okay? You don't have to do it exactly the way I'm doing it. You could use your mirror modifier. Just try to align it along that profile and make sure you get it right. Just try to align it properly. Something like that should be fine. You can now go to your front photographic view like this. And then move, no, we want to select everything. A to select everything and then turn off the proportional tool and go GZ, bring it down. Like about this much. How to rotate it like that. Perfect. So it's just sitting there quite lovely. You might have to do a few adjustments actually. So you want to go to your top photographic view, turn on your proportional tool again, select that middle vert and just bring it in like that. Roll the fall off. Roll the little mouse to control the fall off. Something like this should be fine. You want to go 8, select everything, and F to fill. You want to give it a subdivision surface modifier. You want to go E to extrude S to scale to add some more geometry to it. So the subdiv can, I think this, I'm going to go with something like this. No, that's too much. You don't want to insert that like that. It's just going to mess up everything anyway. So just leave it this way. So with our face select option, let's try and see. It's the same result it's giving us, which is not what we want right now. That's not what we want. So we can just insert it just a tiny little bit like that. Something like that should be fine. You want to increase the levels on the subdiv and that should be okay. Yeah, something like this should be fine. Go to the wireframe and then extrude it out a bit, just a tiny little bit. So it gives it that thickness that we kind of want to see. And then bevel it something like that. Let's see. Okay, that's a weird topology. So we might undo that. We don't have to bevel everything. We just need to bevel that edge there. So turn off the subdiv so we can see it very well. This edge, you want to go Shift Alt, select that edge, Control B, and just bevel it in like that. We want to turn back the subdiv and let's see what we have. Right click and go shade smooth. Okay, something like this is all right. So this is kind of what we have, right? It's not gonna be that visible anyway, so but you guys could, spend some more time with the detailing and all that and try to make it very perfect. But this is what I'm gonna go with. With this spot selected, wanna go Shift Alt, select this, and then we wanna fill this in. Maybe we'll start with E to extrude S to scale in like that. E to extrude S to scale. The reason is if you press F to just fill that, it's gonna give it a weird topology at the end of the day, and it's not gonna be what we want. So I want to go E to extrude on the Z like that, and then I want to go E to extrude S to scale it in like that. And this is what we have. Here's what we have. At this point, we can go ahead and fill. It's not gonna, but we can still extrude it some more. E to extrude S to scale. And we can just fill that right now by pressing F. That fills it for us. And I want to separate that part so we can give it a different material. We could just leave it that way. But if you want to give it an emissive material or, put particle system on it so it looks like the drone have, some sort of extra function where it emits out smoke or something from that part, you can feel free to do that. But this is just what I'm going to leave it at. Now we might need to separate these these fans, these engines, so that we can give them rotation keyframes later. We might need to do that. But this, I like this whole project so far because we're just using our creative skill here. We're not trying to get it 100% accurate, but we want to get close to that. I want to get close to that. So so far, this is satisfying. It's very, very satisfying. I like the topology. I like the scale and size. I like the way it's coming out. It's looking very, um, very fine, and it's going to look very organic and real when I'm done. Because I'm gonna do my best to give it nice textures and all. So let's add in an empty. Let's go with an empty plain axis so behind. It's there, but you can't really see it. So let's go GZ, move it up like that. And then we want to parent all of this to the empty. With everything selected, select the empty, control P, and then object keep transform. So wherever the empty goes, the drone will follow, right? This will help us for the animation. Just select the empty, go to your top view, and then you can rotate it, and then the drone goes as well. So that's kind of what we want, right? So we're going to be giving this some constraints later for it to follow. We're going to be giving it some constraint, like rotation keyframe, but in order to get it right, we have to separate. You know, if you watched part one, there was a part where I said that we're going to join all of these fans to make the workflow easier. But at this point, I also mentioned that we're going to have to separate them at some point. So, and that's what we're going to do now. We're going to separate each of these fans and make them stand individually, It's an individual element. They're not going to be joined together. So that's what we're going to be doing here. So if you already know how to